What's up everybody, Grinny here. I'm finally back on camera. I'm still not 100% feeling better, but I'm okay to talk, so I might cough a few times. And that just means I'm still a bit sick. I'm not turning into Heisenberg or anything like that. Just throwing that in there because I watched the episode, the new one. Watch it if you haven't seen it. In the background here I've just got, it's kind of showing all the characters that have been on the list so far. Not in any particular order, it's just kind of randomised. But I have that going on there in the background, so hopefully it's not too distracting. But yeah, pay most attention to me because this is where I'm talking. Now, I have my top 20 written down because it was really hard to name them all off the top of my head in the correct order. Because it took a lot of time to decide where I should put who. Now I do know everybody in my top 20 obviously, but I have to write them down in which order. So I'm just going to get this started. Okay, so first character, number 20, or I don't know why I did 2, but whatever. Okay, in 20th place we have Bonshichi Tawara from Tenjo Tenge. Now what I like about this character is he's not like the main bad guy or the main good guy or whatever. He's kind of just, a side character, but he's assumed to be the most powerful student at the fighting school. I'm not going to go too much into the story of Tenjo Tenge. If you've seen it, you know what I'm on about. If you don't, you don't. You can look it up if you want. But I don't want to make this video way too long, so I'm not going to go too much into the story. Anyway, I like him because he's the quiet type, he's the funny type, and he's the one you'd least expect to be a badass. He's pretty cool looking as well. Like, he's got the white hair, and he's got the shaved sides or whatever, and he kind of wears biker clothes in his past. And the story actually kind of revolves around him in some way, his story, but like he's not the main character or anything. He's a pretty cool character. He is very strong. He was originally in my top 10, but I've moved him down since then because I watched so many animes since I first watched that one. But he's a great character. At number 19 we have Tobi from Naruto. Now, not Obito. Tobi, while he had the mask on and whatnot, because I thought he was a lot better before he took his mask off. He was more of an interesting character in my opinion. I mean, we all expected it was going to be Obito, but I just think it was better off that I think he was better off with his mask. Obviously we did have to find it eventually. But the reason I like this guy is because he was very smart, and he was the one you did not expect to be like, the lead bad guy. Or even that powerful. Well, we knew he was, there was going to be something special about him when we saw his abilities, morph dimensions and whatnot. I thought he was hilarious when he had his mask on, his old mask on anyway. And when he got serious, he was just really cool. I loved his fan thing. I like that too. That was awesome, man. His mask, the newest mask he had, was awesome. I really liked that. I liked the way it had the 3 things from the Sharingan on it. So yeah, that's number 19. And number 18 is Evangeline A.K. McDowell from Mahou Sensei Negima. Now, I'm sure you've seen a few of these come up already. I think I've had maybe 3 come up. Was it 3? Might have only been 2 actually, I don't know. But yeah, she's a vampire who's been like alive for centuries, and basically she is clearly the smartest character in the show and one of the oldest, but she doesn't look it because she's in a child's body. But she's very powerful, and she can, during full moons, turn herself into like an adult woman and all that, because she was originally an adult woman until she was changed into a child as a curse, and she can't leave like the school she's at. But she's really cool. She was originally, an enemy, and then she decides to help and train the main character and all that. She's basically the main character's trainer, like Master Roshi is in Dragon Ball, fucking Urahara, Jiraiya, all them. She's one of those characters, but she is old, but she doesn't look so. She's kind of like Tsunade, but her appearance is a lot younger than Tsunade. Number 17, Yuri Nakamura from Angel Beats. Now, me and my friend are always saying who's better, Yuri Nakamura or Kanade Tachibana. He always liked her better, but I always liked Yuri Nakamura better because I just thought she was more of a badass character. I mean, I know she wasn't as strong, but I liked her overall design. I thought she was a smart character. She knew what she was doing. She was a good leader. And overall, her personality is just great. She also had a tragic backstory and all that, and I just thought she's a really well-made character. Um, I mean, all of Key's characters are amazing. Now, if you don't know who Key are, they're a company who make a bunch of animes. They've made Clannad, they've made Canon, Air, Angel Beats, Little Busters, and I think they have another one coming out. But yeah, she's a great character. You don't really see that many purple-haired characters. Like, well, you do, but like they're not like, you know, the major characters or whatever. So I like her. I also like her weapon that she uses, the gun. It's awesome. I can't remember the exact name of the gun, but it's pretty cool. It actually made me want to buy that gun, even though guns are illegal in my country. Obviously, I'll get it without the bullets or whatnot. It's just kind of be to have because I think it's awesome. And number 16 is Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. Now, I'm sure you're not surprised to see a Dragon Ball Z character in my top 20, considering I've already had quite a few of them come up. I've had Vegeta, Gohan, Cell, and Frieza come up. Sorry. So it was to be expected that, speaking of Dragon Ball Z, it was to be expected that another one would actually come up. The reason I like Piccolo is he's not the main character, but he was always and he was the only character really that was on par with the Saiyans later on in the series. Because I mean, yeah, we had like, you know, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha, you know, the original main characters and all that. They all kind of died down, especially Yamcha and Tien. Krillin was always there, but he was never as strong. And then once GT came, he was pretty useless. Like they never used him or whatever. But Piccolo, he was always up on par with the other Saiyans, you know, like Goku, Vegeta. Never quite as strong, but he was always still up there fighting with them, and he could always hold his own. He was very smart and powerful, of course. And I just thought he was a great inclusion into the anime, considering in Dragon Ball he was the final bad guy, and I just thought making him as one of the main characters in Dragon Ball Z was a great idea. He was really smart, and he's a great character. Okay, so up next we have, also sorry for the pause there, every 5 I'm going to stop it because my camera, you probably noticed in some of my videos, it kind of distorts the sound of my video at later points and distorts the video and it goes slow-mo or whatever. So I'm going to have to do that every 5 names just because it'll work out easier. Alright, so number 15, Tiki Mick from D.Gray-man. He is basically known as, you know, one of the main bad guys. He basically is the main bad guy other than the Millennium Earl. I don't normally like characters like this. He really reminds me of Ulquiorra from Bleach. A character I, don't hate me for this, but a character I really, really don't like. And I don't normally like characters like him. But Tiki Mick is different. I don't know what it is about him. He's just really cool. And he's always been one of my favourite characters ever since I first met him. He's the most interesting of the bad guys in D.Gray-man. He's also the one who gets the biggest part of the bad guys in D.Gray-man. His abilities are interesting with the butterflies and his Noah transformation and, you know, his human side. Because although he's a bad guy, he does have a human side where he has friends and, you know, has a job and whatever. And he's shown to be, you know, a caring person. But when he fights, oh man, he is ruthless. A bit of a spoiler alert here, if you are watching D.Gray-man and you haven't caught up yet, or well, I'm not even caught up in the manga, I don't really read the manga, I only watch the anime. But if you haven't finished anime, you may or may not have seen this scene, but spoiler alert. I don't really like them spoiler alerts, but yeah, just like, you know, skip maybe 20 seconds into it, starting now. So, he's really ruthless. He pretty much does an Ulquiorra on Ichigo. He pretty much kills the main character. And then the main character's obviously brought back or whatever. He doesn't like fully die or what. It's kind of like Ichigo. But yeah, spoiler end. He's just a great character. Really, he's a masterpiece of an enemy. His personality is great. He's very sly, you know. He's always thinking ahead of everything, and he's just plain old strong, like. Right, so up next we have Maze Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist. Seriously, who does not like this guy? He's awesome. He's hilarious. He's not like, you know, strong and he doesn't fight. He's just hilarious. He's you know, he's that character that makes you feel good about watching the show. You know, he always makes you laugh no matter what he's doing. And he's the most normal character in the show. And what really impacted a lot of Full Metal Alchemist fans is his death. My God, when I first saw that, I was like, no, why do my favorite characters always die? You know, I saw that and I was just like, and of course, there goes my favorite character yet again. Uh, he's a really great character. He's probably the funniest character on this list. Yeah, he'd be one of them anyway. He's shown as, you know, he's the most normal character. He's the one you can relate to the most in the show. He I'm sure. I don't think there's anyone who doesn't like Maeve Hughes. Alright, so number 13, Yoko Littner from Gurren Lagann. That, come on, you gotta like her. Maybe not this high now. I put her this high because I loved the anime she was in, Gurren Lagann. But about her, what I really liked about her was, no, it wasn't the breasts. Okay, partially, but it was just her character. You know, she was the strong one. She had massive gun. I mean, who does not like massive guns? Like, I mean, they're awesome. Everyone likes big guns and jokes, but guns, like, you know, that gun is great. She's a great shot. You know, she's smart. It's kind of really hard to talk about her, but she is a great character. I mean, I've only watched Gurren Lagann once, and it's been a while. It's been about a year now since I've seen it, so I need to rewatch it because most animes in my top 20 I've seen twice, at least. So like, I have to rewatch that, but I know she's up here for a good reason, and it's mainly just her character, her personality. You know, just the way she acts, her relationships with the other characters, and especially Kamina, like that. That was a great relationship, and then, well, if you watch it, you know what happens to him. Sorry. Number 12. Now, here's a character you will recognise. Also, my top Naruto character, Hinata Hyuga. Now, at first, I didn't really care much for her. To me, she just felt like, you know, the boring, useless character or whatever. But when I went back on Naruto, I realised she has a great impact on a few of the characters, mainly Naruto and Neji. I mean, the effect that her death had on Naruto to defeat Pain was great. She's an overall good character, you know, her personality is great, her ability is really interesting. You know, the Byakugan to see 360 degrees. Of course she would at that one blind spot, like Neji pointed out. But she's a great character, you know, she's an inspiration to Naruto, and she's been helpful towards Neji. She's really strong as well. A lot of people underestimate her. The gentle touch she has, obviously it's going to be powerful, like, you know, it's going to deal some damage. It goes for your pressure points, it will damage your insides. Why do people always rank her as the weakest of the characters? Well, you know, the Konoha 11. Why is she always considered the weakest? In all honesty, I'd put her in the top 5 or 6 after Naruto, Sasuke. You know, physically I'd put her the 4th strongest after Naruto, Sasuke and Rock Lee. Maybe Neji actually as well, so she'd be in the top 5. Like, I think she'd beat any of the other girls, especially Sakura. I know Sakura is a physical fighter, but what good is being physical if she can just, you know, destroy your insides? Like, so I really don't get why people say she's a weak character. Okay, number 11. Now, you probably expected this character to be higher. Some more than others, of course. If you've been to a convention with me, then you already know who I'm talking about. You would expect him to be in the top 10, but I'm afraid he just barely missed the top 10, and that's Gin Ichimaru from Bleach. This guy's awesome. He's my first cosplay, you know. He's always been, you know, that character you always like. Now, I know there was a few people who didn't like him. Someone I know personally didn't actually like him at all. I don't know how you don't like this guy. He's awesome. He's creepy. He's sly. You're meant to think he's pure evil, when in reality he's not a good guy or a bad guy. He just cares about one person, and his whole story, his backstory, which needs to be told properly. I mean, seriously, it does. His whole story with Rangiku is amazing. He's done all this for her the whole time. Everything he planned, working with Aizen, working with Toast, and, you know, planning to kill Hinamori because, you know, Aizen didn't want her to, I don't think, but he was going to. Or killing Hitsugaya, for example. None of that mattered to him. He was doing all that for Rangiku, and I just think that says a lot about his character. He's the kind of character who you can look up to, in a way. In an evil way, I guess. Not really look up to, because that a bit psychotic. But his Bankai being the fastest one, I don't think anybody expected that. I'm sure they expected it to, you know, be a lot longer or whatever. But nobody, including Aizen, expected for the poison element to it. But it makes sense. He's a snake, kind of. I get. You can relate to a snake, especially the face. Although, now the face you can actually think more of a fox. I don't know where I got snake from, to be honest. But yeah, the poison thing, I don't think anybody expected that. And we all know Aizen didn't anyway. So yeah, Genichimaru, number 11, did not quite make the top 10. And I know I'm going to hear some flack of that from a couple of my friends. But, you know, it's the way it is. Okay, so here we are, the top 10. Who could be my top 10? Well, let's start off at number 10. Alright, number 10 is Kyo Fujibayashi from Clannad. She is my favourite Clannad character, and I didn't really, you know, like a few other characters on this list. I didn't actually like all that much first, you know. To me, she was, you know, the typical, you know, character who beats the crap out of the main character, the one you see in pretty much every anime. But, no, she just turned out to be the best character in the end, in my opinion. Like, I mean, Nagisa was great. Who else? Ryo, her sister, was an awesome character. I really liked her. But again, I think, yeah, she came second on this list in kind of characters, I think Nagisa came third. I can't really remember. It's really far back. I'm pretty sure Ryo came higher. But yeah, the three of them were the best characters. I mean, Kotomi, she's also good. So is Fuko. And Tomoyo, you know, I didn't really, to be honest, Tomoyo didn't really interest me that much. I don't know why, she just never interested me. But Kyo, you can see her relationship with the main character. They've known each other for a long time. Well, actually, not really that long, but you know, they do know each other well enough. They don't show it, but you can just tell that they're close friends. She's got a great design. I think the purple hair on her, as I've mentioned in one of the other characters, is interesting for, you know, such a high character, you know, to be like one of the main characters. I know kind of near the end of the series she barely appears, and she becomes Tomoya's daughter's teacher. Like, I thought that was pretty interesting the way they done that. But yeah, Kyo is overall one of the best female characters in anime. Really, she is. Next up, number 9, Azusa Nakano from K-On! Again, this is another character I did not like when it first started, because I thought the designs of, you know, Mio was very boring. It was very plain. I thought Ritsu was awesome, and the others obviously. But when Azusa came in, I was like, oh great, it's another character like Mio, you know, very basic looking. But I don't know, I just started to really like this character very quickly. She was very funny. I like the whole, you know, Yui making her a cat thing, even though she doesn't even like cats, and you know, she never really cared for her before, and like she was. I found it funny when she thought like all the other girls were, you know, testing her to get her to start practicing and whatever, but really they were just having tea and cakes and biscuits and all that. They didn't really care, and she was thinking, this must be a trick going on here. They want me to, you know, start to practice, and then when she does start to practice, their teacher goes mental at her, and she's like, what the hell? She's a good character. You know, she's obviously very skilled on the guitar. She's one of the funniest characters, but she doesn't like intend to be funny. You know, she doesn't go out of her way to be funny. She just is, and her reactions with the other character, especially in the movie with Yui, her reactions in that were hilarious, thinking that Yui was coming on to her or whatnot. I thought that was hilarious. Next up we have Krillin from Dragon Ball Z. Now, you should know I like Krillin, because I did plan to cosplay him, but I've changed it to Tien now simply because he's taller. Krillin is, you know, he's one of the original Dragon Ball characters who stayed in it until the end of Dragon Ball Z. You know, he was always kind of relevant. Yeah, he died like a lot. Actually, he didn't die that much if you think about it. Everyone makes out that Krillin died a lot. Not really. He died in Dragon Ball. He died in Dragon Ball Z against Frieza, and then he died once more. Wait, maybe twice more. Actually, if you think about it, when what's his name again? Dabura, sorry. When he turns Krillin to stone, does that count as a death? If it does, then yeah, he's died 4 times because Boo then kills everybody. But yeah, does that if that counts as death, then yeah, he's died quite a few times. But if not, 3 times. Characters have died more. Goku being the big one, he's died more than that. Goku's died a few times. But yeah, like Krillin's an awesome character. He's your typical, martial artist. He's got the shaved head, the monk look. He obviously, he's also a pervert like Master Roshi. So when Master Roshi in Dragon Ball gives him those missions, to find a hot girl or whatever, Krillin knows exactly what to look for. Whereas Goku was bringing back these, mermaids and all that, and obviously, Master Roshi can't do anything with them. But Krillin brings back Launch, who, tries to kill them several times, but Krillin knows what he's looking for. Krillin, he's the funny character. Ball gives him those missions, to find a hot girl or whatever. Krillin knows exactly what to look for, whereas Goku was bringing back these, mermaids and all that, and obviously, Master Roshi can't do anything with them. But Krillin brings back Launch, who, tries to kill them several times, but Krillin knows what he's looking for. Krillin, he's the funny character who can also be serious and is strong. Strong you can kind of debate. Dragon Ball, yeah, he was strong in Dragon Ball. But in Dragon Ball Z, he never really proved himself to be that powerful. He destroyed all of Cybermen pretty much. But after that, he didn't really do anything too big. But again, he's a character you can relate to, He's also very normal compared to the other characters, He's actively out trying to get a girlfriend or whatever. He doesn't want to be alone. He's looking for, someone he can settle down with. And, we all know eventually he gets an Android 18 and all that, but you can just relate to him trying to do that, because I know a lot of people do that too. I won't blab on about him too much because everyone knows Krillin. Now, number 7, Shunsui Kyoraku, the Captain Commander. Obviously, his abilities are badass. I've always liked Shunsui because, he's the lazy character, and I was extremely lazy back then. I still am, not as much as I was. He was one of those characters that you instantly get attached to, He's got an interesting design, he's lazy, he's got an interesting personality. And I just thought when he was fighting Stark, his dirty tricks, I liked how Stark was like, that seems very out of character for you, and he goes, well, this is my character. He's that kind of person, he's very smart, he's experienced, he's been around a long time, he knows what he's doing, he's Yamamoto's best student along with Ukitake. He's obviously deemed good enough for Yamamoto to promote him to captain, along with Ukitake. Like, Shunsui, his abilities, a lot of people think his ability is to do with the shadows. It's not. That's just part of it, His main thing is, playing children's games, which is, it's interesting. It's an interesting concept, and especially how Kubo wrote it into the story. It was very impressive. Shunsui, we still see his Bankai, but, he's the Captain Commander. We're gonna see it. He's gonna fight Juhabak. He might not win, but he'll fight Juhabak. It would make sense after, of course, he fights, Colonel Sanders or whatever. But he will show his Bankai, and it will be against Juhabak. And next up, we have Misaka Mikoto from Toaru Kagakuno Railgun. All 4 of the main characters have made it onto this list now, with her being the top one. I was only introduced to this anime back in January by a friend of mine. She recommended it to me. I watched it, finished it in 2 days. That's how good it was. It was a very short anime, and there is a season 2 which I haven't gotten around to watching yet because I don't think it's finished yet, and I don't like watching anime weekly. I kind of forget about it then, and then I don't even go back to it. The only anime that didn't happen to me was Dragon Ball Z and Bleach because I was so invested in them. But it seriously is a great anime, and I'm going to get around to season 2 soon enough. But her ability was very interesting, and her name, her nickname, the Railgun, was very cool. Using lightning and the coins or whatnot, as a conductor. She's very powerful as well. I'd be interested to see how she'd fare against some Bleach characters, because I think she'd do quite well. Like, here we are, the top 5. This is where it gets interesting now. Okay, so number 5 on this list, you probably guessed is going to appear, because I've already mentioned the 4 other characters that were in the show, and I've barely mentioned this character. I mentioned her once a few minutes ago, but I tried not to, make a big deal about her, because obviously I didn't want to reveal it, but I think it was a bit obvious. But next on the list, we have Yui Hirasawa from K-On! She is... I immediately liked this character. Now, she's one of the characters I did immediately like out of a lot of animes. She's funny, she's lazy too. She loves food, she loves sweets, she loves, cute things or whatever. She's just a great character overall. Now, she's not anything like, badass or cool or anything like that. She's just a cute character who you enjoy to watch. And that is why I have her up this high on the list, because she's always an interesting character to watch. I've rewatched K-On! Maybe 4 times, simply for the characters. There's not really that much of a story. Obviously, it's a story where they're in a band, whatever, they make music or whatever. But that show is really just about the characters. And Yui, as is Mio, they're the 3 best in my opinion. They do a great job at, keeping people interested in the show. Ritsu and Samugi are also good characters as well, but they were in the first 10 characters or whatever, they make music or whatever. But that show is really just about the characters. And Yui, as is Mio, they're the 3 best in my opinion. They do a great job at, keeping people interested in the show. Ritsu and Samugi are also good characters as well, but they were in the first 10 characters I had on the list. They're in the 90s. But Yui, she's that kind of character who will, she'll keep a lot of people interested watching. She's funny, and she's also a character a lot of the kids can enjoy as well, because she's so funny and there's all these cute things, and always wants sweets or whatever. So I had to put her up this high on the list. She's always been, in my top 10 characters, always. And she's always been in my top 3 female anime characters. So let's move on to the next one. Now, this is another one you've probably expected, because there's been 6 characters on the list already from this anime, which is just 2 animes with more than 6 characters on the list. Number 4 is Goku from Dragon Ball Z. That was Cell, but it's still Dragon Ball Z. Goku, obviously, he's to me, he was my childhood hero. I started watching Dragon Ball Z when I was 4 years old. That's 16 years ago now. It's long. Goku has been the character from anything that has been around the longest for me. And the first anime I was introduced to, the first hero I was introduced to, the first Saiyan I was introduced to. First cartoon character I was really properly introduced to. I will never forget the day I watched Dragon Ball Z. The very first time I ever watched it, I can remember it. I was 4 years old, and I remember watching the first episode and how cool Goku was, There was 2 episodes on that day. Goku was a great character. If you don't like Goku, honestly, you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan, and I would even go to the point of saying you're not an anime fan. Now, I was contemplating putting Goku at first, because I've known him for so long. He's always been, up there as one of my favourite characters ever. I just felt like I shouldn't put him at first, simply because there's been other characters I've been, near to the point obsessed with since Dragon Ball Z. But he has to make a top 5 place. I could have put him number 3, but I decided to put him at number 4. He's obviously one of the coolest and kindest characters. He's obviously in my opinion, he is the strongest anime character. And some of you have probably seen, my talk about the Goku vs Superman video. Yeah, I'm gonna take a lot of that stuff I said in that video back because I was just pissed off that Goku lost. I know Superman would beat him. He would. Like, I mean, you got to take all the, the details into account. Superman would beat Goku, sadly. And I was just, pissed off. Also, it was kind of a troll video in a way. And funnily enough, it's my most popular video. I think it's got nearly 8,000 views now at this point. Could be wrong, but it's got a lot of views. And anything Dragon Ball Z related will get a lot of views. Especially if it's Goku versus Superman. Goku's awesome. Everybody likes Goku. If you don't like Goku, you're not a real fan. I know people just kind of try to around ish, and to me, you're not a real fan. Obviously, it doesn't mean you're not an actual real fan, but you gotta like Goku. Seriously, you do. If you don't like Goku, there's something wrong with you. I'm not trying to be offensive, but there's something wrong with you. Okay, now for the top 3, and for the final girl on the list. You might not even know her. A few characters have already appeared from this manga, from that one to be precise. Not that one, the one before. Feiku from Mahou Sensei Negima. She is awesome, okay? She's really strong. She's also, one of the main characters' trainers. She's a martial artist. She does kung fu. She's got a cool character design. She's Chinese. She's not Japanese. She's Chinese. And she's blonde, which is very interesting for, a Chinese character. But just the way she is, like, she's a really cool character. She's also got, personality traits from Yui, who I just mentioned. She's the cute character. She's funny, that kind of stuff. She's also got the badassness of Misaka Mikado from Railgun. She's also got, she's got that badassery as well. She's really strong. Now, out of the martial arts 4 characters, which is a small group in that, she's considered the weakest, but only because she's one of the only 4 who doesn't use magic. Physically, she's probably the strongest of them, and if she used magic, think of how powerful she would be. I also, in one of the anime she has weapons which are tonfas, and I really like tonfas, mainly because of that character. And that character, she's awesome. She previously on my old channel, before it got taken down for mass amounts of copyright from when I was 14, 15 or whatever, she ranked #1. That's how much I like this character. Seriously, if you have not read Mahou Sensei Negima, you are missing out. Yes, it's an ecchi at first, a few magic fights, but my god, does it get awesome. It's a really cool manga. You gotta check it out. Don't bother with the anime. The anime is good, but it's not the same. Read the manga if you have not before. If you have, let me know. I know very little people who have read this manga. I've met maybe 1 or 2 people who actually have. I have so many volumes of it. I got like the first 17 and number 23 or whatever. I have them. They're great. I read them all in books. I've had to read them online after I finished the volumes, but it is finished as well, so you can easily catch up. Now, I'll admit some of the chapters can take a while to read, but trust me, you will not regret it, and I guarantee you will like this character. Now, she's not a main character. Now, she helps out the hero a lot, but she's not like one of the 5 main characters or whatever. But she is awesome. Check her out. Check her manga out. It's awesome. Now, for number 2, my top Bleach character. Now, before I say who it is, I'm going to give you a few seconds to guess. And, let me know below if you actually guessed correctly. Now, I know some of you will, because I know some of you who are going to be watching this video. But, let me know if you actually got this right. So, I'm going to count down to 5. I want you to guess who my favourite Bleach character is. I have mentioned it once before. Maybe twice, I'm not sure. I have mentioned it, though. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... Okay, my favourite Bleach character ever, and pretty much has been since its introduction, is Coyote Stark. Man, that dude is awesome, okay? He is basically me. No, well, not, basically me, but I have a lot in common with him. Both lazy as hell. We both like to sleep. We both aren't bothered to do a lot of things. We both like guns. But like wolves. I predicted he was number one. Everything I predicted about Stark has come correct. Like, he's just because I have a lot in common with the character, I can kind of tell what was coming up. I knew he'd be the first Espada. I knew his release had something to do with wolves. And I knew he'd kind of have, some kind of fur on him. He's a really awesome character. The wolves he uses are cool. The energy swords he uses are awesome. The guns, again, also cool. I figured he'd also be the Cero expert, because I figured Cero's a big thing for, Menos. So I figured the top Espada, surely he's going to be good at, using Ceros. Funny thing is, Stark did not show his full ability, right? He did not use his Gran Ray Cero, and I think he can use Cero Oscuro as well. I think the top 4 or something can use that, as Ulquiorra was saying. So he didn't even use his strongest Ceros. I know unless all those Ceros he was using were Gran Ray Ceros, which I doubt. But I wish Stark was still in it. I would, even though it wouldn't make sense, I'd be 100% happy with him returning in the manga with, say, Grimjaw or whatever. I would really love that. And honestly, Stark, he's so awesome. I've been wanting to cosplay him for the longest. At one point, my hair was as long as his was. And, I even got a little beard thing going on here or whatever. I'm probably about the same height and the same build as him, So I could have cosplayed him perfectly, but of course, his cosplay is very expensive, and I did not know how to go about making it. So I decided against it, and I shaved my head, obviously, so I'm going to have to buy a wig now. If I do decide to do it, it's going to cost me more. But I will cosplay him sometime, because he is the best Bleach character, in my opinion, and he deserved to go up against a Bankai. Because that was one thing he wanted to see. He wanted to see a Bankai. And Ukitake, he Bankai blocked him by saying, no, Shunsui, you can't do that. No, it's so many people around. Fuck you, Ukitake. Okay, I want to see Shunsui's Bankai, and I want to see Stark fight a Bankai. He deserved it. Being the strongest Espada, I think he's the only Espada who did not go up against a Bankai. Barragan went against Soifon's Bankai. Haribo went against Itsugai's. Ukura obviously went against Ichigo's. Noitra went against Ichigo's as well, barely now, but Grimjaw went against Ichigo's. Zamari went against Byakuya. Zio went against 2 Bankais, Renji and Mayuri. Actually, Aroniro, he didn't. I take that back, he didn't go up against a Bankai. Yami went against Ichigo's Bankai as well, and I'm not sure if Byakuya went Bankai against him. If he did, well then there he got 2 as well. But Stark, being the top Espada, deserved to fight a Bankai. He is the best Bleach character ever, in my opinion. Okay, and also the best, villain in any anime ever, in my opinion. Now, he wasn't, an evil villain or whatever. Now, before I go to number 1, let me recap the top 20. So we had Bunshichi Tawara from Tenjo Tenge. We had Toby from Naruto. We had Evangeline A.K. Mito from Negima. We had Yuri Nakamura from Angel Beats, Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, Tiki Mick from D.Gray-man, Maze Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist, Yoko Littner from Gurren Lagann. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Hinata Hyuga from Naruto, Genichi Mura from Bleach, Kyo Fujibayashi from Clannad. Now we're in the top 10 starting with her. Azusa Nakano from K-On!, Krillin from Dragon Ball Z. Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course it happened at the very end of the video now, wouldn't it? Shunsui Kyoraku, I think I just mentioned him, from Bleach. Misaka Mikoto from Toru Kageku no Railgun. Top 5. Yui Hirasawa, K-On!, Goku, Dragon Ball Z, Feiku, Negima, and of course, as I just mentioned, Coyote Stark from Bleach. Number 1. Number 1. Now, if you know me in real life, you know who I'm going to say, or you can at least predict who I'm going to say, considering he hasn't appeared on this list yet. Bloody hell. My all-time favourite anime character ever is Lavi from D.Gray-man. My god, does he rock. Okay. He's strong, he's funny, he's smart, and his weapon, a hammer, that can use different elements, that's fucking awesome, okay? Excuse my language, I will swear a lot because that's how fucking awesome this guy is, okay? His character design is great. At first, second he was introduced to the anime, I knew I was gonna like this character. I'm talking too fast now, it's affecting me more. It's a chest infection. But I just knew he'd be a character I liked. And I didn't expect to like him this much. But he is awesome. I mean, he's done so many great fights, you know, he fought, who did he fight? He fought Crory, who's also appeared on this list. He fought him, and yeah, he kind of lost to him. But whatever. Lavi, I think, in my opinion, is probably the second strongest in the main group of D.Gray-man. Yes, even above Kanda. Alright. I think Lavi is the second strongest after Alan Walker. Now, Lavi's abilities are very interesting. I like the fact that he can use different elements. One thing that's annoying me though is there's like 3 other symbols on his hammer. 3 different elements that he has not used yet. Let me see them. Now actually, I can't actually say that because I haven't caught up in the manga yet. I'll just let you know D.Gray-man is also one of my favourite animes, which I'll do a top 10 list of soon enough. But yeah, my god, Lavi is such a fucking great character. He's funny, he's strong, he's smart. He's a great tactician as well. You know, he's got what's called photographic memory. He never forgets anything. He knows everything he's seen in his life. He's never forgotten. He also fights Alan at one point when he's, you know, under control, and he actually overpowers Alan as well. Now he does eventually, you know, lose in the end, but he does overpower him. And I like how he was made out to be, you know, just a normal character, a normal everyday character, and just like that, he's kicking ass. And when he was first introduced, was also the first main introduction of the bad guys. We got to meet Road Camelot kind of the same time as he came in, and I think actually was that. Am I correct on that? I think so, because I remember them being in the snow place when it happened. But yeah, Lavi is awesome. I'm not going to even go too much into detail because I will be here for about an hour just trying to explain why I like this character. So I'm going to end it here. The video's long enough as it is now. I don't know how long exactly it is. I had to record 3 times because obviously I didn't want it to distort the volume in the video and all that, so I had to cut it off. I had to stop it 3 times, and that itself took 25 minutes. Those 3 parts took 25 minutes. And then I had to take out the memory card of my camera, take off those 3 videos, and then, hold on now. Yeah, I thought it would have been 4 videos, but it was only 3. Okay, whatever. I'm terrible at maths. Why the hell would it be more than 4 videos? Fucking 5 in each part of it. 20 characters. Anyway, look at how bad I am at maths. This is my top 100 list finished. I spent 3 weeks on it. I enjoyed it. It was a great fun list to write, you know. A bit frustrating at times trying to decide who I like better. And to be honest, some characters back in, like, you know, lower on this could have easily been, you know, switched around for the character above them or the character behind them or character 2 in front, 2 behind or whatever. Because that's how equally much I like them. But now the top 20 are above all those characters no matter what. Although there is a few characters I can see kind of moving into the top 20 eventually, namely some Soul Eater characters like Stein and Maka. I can see them moving into the top 20 at some point. But that's it. Took me ages to do this and kind of just over a week to do all the videos. This is going to take a hell of a lot of time to upload, but it's going to be worth it. And, you know, actually I can't even upload it right now because my fucking internet's gone off. I don't know why, it just, I guess I'm complaining to do. It's twice in a row now. It happened to me yesterday as well. But yeah, that's the list done. If you want to see any other lists, You know, post in the comments below, let me know. And, you know, you can send a video response or just even a comment telling me your favourite character. Now, you don't have to do top 100 or even top 20. You can do top 10 or top 5 or even top 3, whatever you want. I look forward to seeing other people's lists. You know, I'd really appreciate it if you did do a video response. I think that would be interesting. I'm very interested in seeing that happen. Now, this list took me ages to work on, and honestly, I'm glad to have gotten it done. Now, I better stop this camera before the sound and the video starts to distort, which I'm sure is probably already happening in one of the other parts of this video. But if it does, you know the usual, just ignore it. It'll go back to normal. Anyway, this is Green Ukami. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.